Hello yogis! In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about a technique called PIR or post-isometric relaxation. Now this is something that I learned from my teacher Monica, who is also a chiropractor, and apparently it's used a lot in physical therapy so that people can get relief from very stubborn muscles that might be causing them pain or discomfort. So it's a very effective tool for stretching stubborn muscles. We're going to talk about it in the context of Baddha Konasana. And I don't know about you, but in Baddha Konasana, I'm always feeling like my muscles are very stubborn. So this is why it's particularly useful for this posture. Let's set the posture up to begin with, and then I'm going to talk you through how the technique works. So you can practice with me if you like, bringing the soles of your feet together and let the knees drop out towards the floor. Now you can have your heels slightly further away from you than I have if you like. Depends really on the shape of your pelvis and where you're holding the tension in your body. I tend to like having my knees and my ankles in one straight line. That feels good for my body. And so with Baddha Konasana, the muscles that we're trying to stretch and lengthen are these muscles on the inner thighs, the adductors. But what you usually find is that after a few breaths in the stretch, you don't seem to go any further. Your muscles kind of freeze up and they don't want to take you further. So PIR is basically a method of tricking your muscles into giving you a bit more out of the stretch. And the way that you do that is that you actually activate the muscle you're trying to stretch just for a few breaths. So we're going to activate the adductors, and then you release the activation and just let the stretch increase. So let's have a go. We're going to do this in a total of 3 times. So first, start to lengthen your spine. Try not to round your back in this one. Lengthen your spine and just take your knees down to the floor, finding your edge in the stretch. So just that point where you feel quite a good stretch, but not so much that you're feeling agitated by it, so that you can breathe easily. Once you've found your edge, just start to push the knees up so that you're resisting the stretch by engaging these adductor muscles. So we'll keep pressing down with the elbows, but press upwards with the legs, resisting the stretch on the adductors. Stay here for 3 deep breaths. Just holding it with about 30% of your effort. So it's not a really strong activation. And then on your 3rd and final breath, exhale, drop the knees, release the resistance, and just start to gently drop the knees closer to the floor. So hopefully you can see there, my legs went a bit further down. Let's do it again. So find your new edge, and then start to resist the stretch by squeezing the adductor muscles and switching them on. So pushing your knees up into your elbows. Deep breaths. And then exhaling, gently take the knees again down to the floor. Again, you can see I got a bit more out of my stretch. Let's do it one last time. So usually after the 3rd round, your muscles start to cotton onto what you're doing and they won't let you stretch any further. So 30% of your effort, holding for 3 deep breaths. And the literature says roughly 7 to 10 seconds is the most effective for PIR. And then on your 3rd exhalation, release the stretch, release the resistance, and see if you can take your knees a little bit closer down to the floor. Then when you're ready, inhale, come back up with your body. And then take your hands underneath your knees. Gently support the knees, bring the knees closer together. Might feel a little bit tender after that deep stretch. And then you can come to a comfortable seated position. So that's the technique used in Baddha Konasana, but you could also apply PIR to many other different stretches. You just need to make sure that the postures you're doing it in are postures where you're quite still, stable and supported. So you don't want to be doing it when you're performing a very active, dynamic posture. Otherwise it might be a little bit unsafe. So just make sure it's a still posture where you know that you're fully relaxed and supported. So that's it for today, yogis. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you again next time. Thank you and namaste.